Hello and welcome to the Boise State Esports Arena as we continue the Fall Mountain West Rocket League season. The defending champions, the Broncos, enter this week undefeated. The Boise State veteran roster players who know what it takes to perform under pressure and know how to close out big series as well. They look to continue to keep that momentum going forward. Their opponents tonight will beat Nevada, and they look to challenge that momentum and make a statement of their own. For the casting desk, my name is Eric Coltrana. I'm of course joined by Bryce. How you doing today? And of course, I got to ask, they look unstoppable so far in the Mountain West region, the Broncos, and I don't think that's going to change anytime soon.
Yeah, taking a look at the matchup, Boise State and Nevada do have quite the long history against one another. However, Boise State has only dropped one game against them in their long-standing rivalry. In fact, it's almost 6 years long at this point. And I do think that Boise State is going to be a really tough team to beat for Nevada. They are coming into this game. Not the greatest record on the books. However, I do think that they have the strength to turn it around. They're looking okay. They're looking on the up and up. But is it going to be enough to really take on this Boise State team and maybe shake them up a little bit?
I mean, this roster knows nothing but domination, but as we saw in the PEC last week, they did suffer their first defeat of this season so far in the fall. So they are a little bit on the rebound, at least when it comes to that division, but when it comes to Mountain West, it's definitely a region that they've owned.
Yeah, Mountain West is kind of their ballpark. They have run it for the past few years, and it doesn't look like it's going to stop anytime soon. PEC is definitely where the challenge comes in for these players, and I feel like that's what really pushes them to the brink. In fact, they just won their game against Kansas earlier tonight, and I think that might be a catalyst to help them do a little bit better in this game as well, start to get on the up and up, start to get back into the swing of things, really get that momentum pushing.
Because, that's the big question that's been going through my mind so far is just who can actually challenge Boise State when it comes to the Mountain West region? Because this is a region that they've been so dominant so long for. You had mentioned a little bit earlier about the only defeat that they've suffered at the hands of Nevada. And how long ago was that?
That was in 2019, so pretty long time ago.
That says a lot.
Yeah, it's been a while. However, Boise State, They have a chance to lose tonight as well. They did just lose to Baylor last week in the PEC. Different, I get it, different division. However, it does give them that opportunity. They're still kind of rebounding from that loss. It was a very, very tough game. However, I think with that Kansas win, they are in a little bit better of a mental state going into this next matchup, and it's going to be a hard fight. It's going to be a hard fight for the Wolfpack.
And again, rebounding from what happened last week, you can see the confidence on the players' faces right now. They're having fun with it. They know what's ahead of them going against the Wolfpack in Nevada. So we get ready for our first match. First things first, we got to take a look at the rosters.
Yeah, in this game, we'll have Cade Hall, Emiliano Flores, Preston Ferrante, Gabriel Reynolds, and of course, Coach Wayton.
And a powerful team, to say the least. The coordination that this team has, it's been on display time and time again. And how do they make that all come together? Well, through Doc's keys to the game in Rocket League, which, again, I always complain about. It doesn't say demos enough, but it is brought to you by Blue Ribbon Painting. With over 90 years of combined experience, they are proud to be Boise's go-to team for local multi-generational painters who know how to level up your home. Visit blueribbonpainting.net. Any keys you want to add, Bryce?
I do have to point out the demos. Those are incredibly important. But another one that I would really like to point out is the use boost wisely. Too often we see players caught out in the middle of the field with zero boost. And that is a problem. Because how are you going to get to the ball if you can't get up in the air? You can't get to the sides, can't get to your goals. It makes it incredibly difficult to rotate. And using that boost effectively, and more importantly, stealing it from your opponents when you get the opportunity, it really allows you to control the tempo of the game.
You can see the energy right now that our players have. They're just laughing it up at the moment. They feel confidence and not a worry on their mind. They're just having a good time.
Yeah, somebody took the 100 boost from the refueling station apparently, because they are all amped up and ready to go.
But yeah, I do think that was a good point that you brought up about boost control being so significant when it comes to Rocket League and being able to control the map on top of that. I think that was pretty heavily on display with the last PEC match that we saw today against Kansas.
Oh, 100% I would agree. Kansas found themselves in a really difficult scenario of never really having enough boost to rotate. We saw it so often. Nobody would be in the goal line. No one would be able to contest someone like Durtho or Preston who would be in the air. No one would be able to contest the person making the shot. And that is really where boost comes into play. Boost is your ability to make plays, and without boost, you can't make plays. Sure, you you can go on the ground, you can do a little bit with your jump, but there's only so many ground balls that are coming in this game. Worm burners are not very common. They're common in regular soccer, but this is car soccer. We're different ball game here.
Yeah, you see them just flying over your head, and what can you do about it if you got no boost? Boost control, very significant thing. And of course, a lot of the demos, we did see that from the last PC match, Kansas was very good with a lot of their previous teams in getting demos. It can be very effective, to say the least, if Nevada is able to bring something like that here. I do think if you're able to take away some of those defensive tools when trying to set up plays to go for an offensive shot and sink a goal in, it can be very significant. So different ways to try and approach the game to find your stake your claim, to be able to get a victory against this squad.
Yeah, and being able to disrupt the teamwork as well. Boise State has had the benefit of having the same players on their Rocket League team for the past 3 years. Played together a lot. These players know each other inside and out, and that familiarity is incredibly important for a game like Rocket League, where you're trying to set things up, you're trying to be on the same wavelength, and overall that experience does help out. However, you take a number out of the equation and the whole thing gets messed up. So just like my math grade, if they're able to take stuff out, we'll watch that. We'll watch their chance of victory plummet.
And of course, I think headspace is very important on top of that. We saw that for different teams throughout the PUC and Mountain West, where, once you start losing, it's very easy to tilt off the face of the planet and let the goals become consecutive after that. Hopefully that's not going to be the case here. And Nevada can try and bring their best against the Broncos as we get ready for game one.
Yep, teams got to learn to counterbalance the tilt. You got to put enough on the other side in order to keep yourselves in a good headspace. And I feel like that's the least talked about part of esports that is arguably the most important. Keeping a good headspace, keeping a good mental, keeping yourself level. You tilt.
90 degrees.
Yeah, you got to keep it 90 degrees. Not 92, not 89. You got to keep it at 90. You're being paid to keep yourself level. But they're also getting into game one. Starting with the kickoff, Preston Woozy trying to get the ball up forward. Just goes up to the ceiling, not really going anywhere, but Durtho going to smack it over to Nevada's side of the field.
You can see the roster for Nevada, Death, Free, and Frozino looking to make their moves forward. It's now Death leading with the ball. Woozy's there to intercept it, send it midfield. The pass over to Preston. Preston will bounce it off the wall. Looking for the first shot of the game. Not going to find its mark just yet.
Yeah, that was Free taking the goal. It wasn't a free goal for them because, of course, Free was inside of it. Durtho with a really good shot. Death is going to block it. Wasn't really in a great spot since it was going to hit that crossbar, but Woozy and Preston still going to pressure out that ball right on the goal line. Is going to be cleared out, but Preston is still keeping in touch with the ball. Durtho with a good tap right over to Woozy into the goal. Nope. Free is going to make sure that you pay for that.
The Wolfpack suffering to the aggression of the Broncos. We're now continuing this momentum forward. Now Preston looking for the shot. Doesn't have the angle just yet, but Woozy's on the opposite side.
Yeah, Preston may not have had it, but Woozy sure did. Like I was talking about teamwork earlier, just in the perfect spot. Woozy knew exactly where to go. Bang. Death couldn't quite stop it, and it's just good play, good positioning out of these players.
I mean, again, the Broncos coming into this cool, calm, and collected. They look like they're ready to have a good time on the field and enjoy some Rocket League and keep looking for those dunks, man. It is relentless as Durtho gets another.
Oh, man. Free. Man, what is that, a coupon? Because they're just getting these goals in left, right, and center, and they're not paying a dime for them. But yeah, just being able to keep it over. Like, we're talking about teamwork. I feel like that is something that we need to stress for this game. But Nevada really seems all over the place. Even with a really good kickoff, they're just not quite there to intercept the ball. Woozy's going to take it away. Free is going to try and keep the ball back, but even still, it's only barely going over the Broncos side of the field. Preston taking it around to that right side, and everybody on Nevada's on that side, leaving the other side completely open. A little bit of rotation from everyone on both teams now. Woozy with a good shot off the crossbar. Durtho gets a demo, but no goal.
Yeah, Preston going to take another shot. Passes it over, goes a little bit too high. Death is there to make the save. Woozy into the corner. We'll look to set up another play, but Frozino able to knock it back into Bronco territory. Now Durtho, Preston going to back up, looking for defense. That's exactly what they'll find as they transition over to make another aerial shot, but Free finds the block.
I will say Free is doing probably the best job on defense here, just always being in the right spot at the right time and still keeping his boost up. Durtho trying to take the ball over, passes it over to Woozy, almost gets it in, just a little bit too high into the right. Not quite the right spot, but Durtho doubling back, getting another touch on the ball. as most of the Broncos go away, but Woozy gets bumped, and Durtho scores it!
I got to take another look at that one.
What just happened?
Yeah, get out of here. This is mine to go for, and Durtho steals it anyway.
Man, doing a little bit of team trolling here on the side of Boise, but they're still getting it done one way or another.
I mean, you can see those cams. All smiles for the Broncos as they're feeling themselves right now. Another shot to come in, gets blocked away. Woozy. Preston instead in the air.
Ooh, juggles it right over
right
death.
over death.
Man, I've never seen someone dodge death like that. Woozy with another shot on the goal, onto that right-hand side. Durtho trying to take it up, manages to get it to the corner, isn't really able to get it anywhere else. Preston the same way. Durtho going back in for another hit, doesn't really find anything, taking it over the goal, fighting with death for the ball. No one's quite able to get to it. Woozy tries as well, still not quite finding it. Free is also not really finding much either. Ball is still firmly on their side of the field. Nevada really struggling to clear this ball out.
Yeah, they cannot get it out of their own territory. And this is the offensive onslaught that we tend to see out of the Broncos. Now finally looking for a way through. It's going to be Death taking the ball out from Preston. Preston will block that momentum forward, keeping it over on the side of the goal. Woozy over the top. Gets past for Zeno. Preston into the air. Woozy on the back end. All members of the Broncos looking for their way forward, but a demo found puts the offense out from Nevada.
Yeah, they try to get themselves going, but now nobody's back to defend the goal. Woozy with a shot. Frozino manages to get there just in time with barely enough boost. Good rotation out of him. That could have been very scary.
Yeah, right off the top, on the dribble, now needs to get past Free. One defender not in position, looking for the pass to Woozy. Doesn't get it quite yet. Now recollecting that boost will be the Broncos. The ball off of the side of the wall once more. Preston looking to get past Free. Free will get the block. Another shot in. The pass over to Woozy. Woozy snakes back around as Preston gets control once more on the defense. Is Nevada as they'll finally find a clear.
Yeah, Preston taking the ball once again over to the midfield, passing it over to Woozy, manages to get it there. Free, though, still keeping it down, and nobody's in the goal for Boise. Free gets a free goal for Free 99. Wow, getting Nevada on the board. We're at 3-1.
You know, it was a nice goal, but no, I'm not letting you get away with that part. You soak that one in.
He used a coupon. He got it for free.
All right, next kickoff now coming in. Durtho will be able to get past, but Frozino will be on the back end. Preston goes for the aerial, bounces it off the top. Now Durtho takes to the skies once more.
Oh,
Hits it right under Free, but Death barely makes the save in time as 30 seconds remain.
30 seconds left on the clock and counting down fast. Nevada really needs to find something here. Durtho with a shot on goal, but saved by Death. You don't hear someone getting saved by Death very often, but here he comes onto the midfield. Durtho with a shot on goal. No one's there, but Frozino manages to get there with no boost left. Durtho with another shot on goal. 10 seconds and counting down. Durtho taking the ball to his
Wrong way,
side.
Durtho.
your goal's on the other side. This isn't Little League. It's not acceptable to score on your own goal. Almost sneaking one in. We're almost in overtime. No one wants to touch the ground, but the ball's finally going to get grounded. Boise State wins 3-0.
Whoa, what a crazy turn of events right there. I mean, credit where credit is due. Nevada did have some decent defense there. I saw a lot of that coming out from Death. He was in the right place, right time to intercept some of these shots coming through from Boise State. But at the end of the day, that relentless offense paid off.
Yeah, there's only so much you can do on defense. It's offense that wins you games.
Offense wins games indeed. You know what else wins? Dairy West, they win. Today's stream is brought to you part by local dairy farmers and the dairy protein they produce. Thanks to them, Boise State Esports has access to next level fueling options that keeps our players playing at their peak. Unbottled dairy protein that powers your performance. Visit unbottled.com for more info. As we get ready for the next game, man, I'm wondering what adjustments we are going to see out of Nevada. I don't think it was the worst look out of Nevada. I mean, sure, it's a 3-1 game. That's Broncos domination. But again, they had solid defense. They just need to get the ball out of their territory.
Oh yeah, definitely. Being able to pass it to other teammates too. They were really struggling in making meaningful plays. Sure, they'd get the ball over to Boise's side of the field, but outside of that one pot shot that they took, they weren't really able to find anything of meaning out of it. So being able to not only get to that side of the field, but set up for plays, keep your boost in check, that's what Nevada really needs to do in order to win this next game. But with Boise State putting such a chokehold on them, it is going to be really hard to get the air and the breathers needed in order to get that to happen.
Let's see what adjustments can come out from the Wolfpack as they look to face the Broncos in game number 2. Already the ball going center field. Preston looking for an early shot. Bounces it off the crossbar and starts with fire.
Man, 5 seconds and we already have a point on the game. This is almost bar for bar what happened game 2 in the PEC. Just immediate score from Boise State. Will the Wolfpack follow? Will we keep it to form?
Again, look at the smiles on the player cams from the Broncos. They're having a grand time right now when you're starting off with goals like that and looking for another aerial coming out from Woozy. He'll drive it off the side, set it center.
Oh, the double demo. What a play. Unfortunately, that will result in death scoring. Yeah, we are starting 1-1 in the first 30 seconds. This is Kansas versus Boise all over again.
Started with fire, now it's a wildfire. This entire arena is lit up right now. Both teams shooting their shot in the first 30 seconds with an even game. Free will try and deliver the ball straight forward, but gets it stolen away from now, going for the aerial.
No.
Durtho sees a shot, but Death is there to defend.
Just barely enough time to get back and get into position. That could have been nasty for the Wolfpack. That could have been bad, especially with no one on defense. Preston trying to get the ball, a little bit more ball control, but runs out of boost. Can't do much else with it. Woozy takes it over to Durtho, passing it over to the goal, but Preston pushes him the wrong way, and unfortunately that's going to result in a possession for the Timberwolves, or the Wolfpack. Yeah.
I got you, man. No worries. There is Preston.
The Wolves.
Bark, bark. Or Hawoo.
Awoo.
Hawoo. There you go. Now Free on the opposite end. Sends the ball over to Bronco territory, but Woozy will slip by one, slip
right
by
over.
two. Woozy
And
sick
Free
with it
goal!
as he'll pass it to Preston for the goal.
I'm not sure that was so much as a pass. I think that was just Preston stealing the goal from him. Stealing the goal.
No. This is teamwork.
Ah,
This
yes.
is teamwork we're seeing right now. Hey, kill confirmed, right?
Yes, kill confirmed. Sure, you did 199 damage, but I did the last 1 damage. That's my kill.
So now the Broncos going to be up 1. Wolfpack look to try and find their way back in, but these aerials coming out from Boise State will be heard as another shot attempt. Rosino will block, but it's not done because Preston will dunk it right on in.
With a hat trick nonetheless, scoring the first 3 points of the game. He has been on fire, just lining up the shots and just right in.
It's a good thing I'm wearing my Jordans right now because it's kind of what we're seeing at the moment with some of these shots. So close, slamming that ball down into the goal, and this will give the Broncos a 2-point lead.
That is where you want to be. You want to be in a good spot. That way, if something sneaks by you, you have a little bit of insurance. You have a good way to come back. Preston going to do a little bit of defense, a little risky shooting it towards your own goal. However, it planned out for him, hitting the top. Durtho with ball control now, trying to get it up that right-hand side. Preston's going to grab it in the end, taking it over to the Wolfpack side, passed over to Durtho, blocked by Death. What a save.
Yeah, Death, right place, right time.
Once again.
Now can the Wolfpack find their way back into this? I mean, Free's trying his darndest, I'll say that much, but Durtho already in position, sends the ball to the corner. Frozino receives, Death finds the pass, but no, the ball slips just right past him. Now Frozino setting it up for Free, tries to deliver it on his own, and he will get another point for Nevada.
What a good shot out of Frozino, just taking this ball right up the side and just a nice little love tap into the side of the goal. Preston Woozy just not quite able to get there in time, but that's going to bring the game 3-2 with almost half the time left.
At moments like this, I wish we could hear player comms, because even with Nevada getting that goal, the Broncos are still smiling and laughing, and you can see why. They got more shots left in the chamber to take. Durtho now in the corner, looking to deliver it forward.
Yeah, they just reloaded, and the gun is not at all hot. Woozy once again taking the ball over with a good shot. Unfortunately, Free's going to come out and do a little bit of good defense. Durtho once again with the ball, with the pinch up to the top. What a shot.
Ballard just gave him stank face right there. Ooh, that was sick, nasty. Durtho always going to have it well within reach. You can never, ever leave this guy in a position. Give him a centimeter, he'll take a mile.
Oh, yeah. I think he'd take even more than that. I think he'd take 10,000 miles.
Just and then take 10,000 more.
Yeah, just to wake up next to the players in their nightmares. Durtho trying to get the ball back. Preston with the eventual save over to Death. Up the right-hand side. Unfortunately taken away by Frozino.
Still 2-point lead coming out for Boise.
Woozy's doing flips in the air. He is just having a grand old time. And gets free in the demo as well. Death taking the ball up, going to be stopped by Durtho, straight to Preston. Free is going to be taking the ball, but Woozy's going to take it right back. He said, "Not for you, sir. This is all for me." Woozy trying to get the ball back, but Frozino is going to take it away. Preston with the ball back on Boise's side of the field, looking to clear it back over.
Preston, 50-50, does not go his way. Woozy sees an angle pass Free. Instead, we'll try and juke him out. Free takes the bait, but no one else on the Broncos able to get it through until now as Preston attempts a shot. Goes wide. Durtho regains control of the ball. Now Woozy on the opposite end will send it over towards the corner. Bounces it off the wall. Durtho not in position, so it gets blocked away as 60 seconds remain on the clock.
Boost control has been a lot better for Nevada in this time around. They have the boost to work with. The issue is they're not being able to clear it over. They're not having great shots. They've had a few good ones that have snuck through for Boise. However, they just haven't quite had enough to give themselves a lot of staying power. Frozino with a good shot on goal, but Preston is going to be there with a full tank. Easy save for the Broncos. Durtho trying to take the ball back. Free and Woozy both clashing. Woozy getting the better hit out of both of them with a good shot on goal. And it's completely open. Woozy finding one more goal for the Broncos, bringing them up 5-2.
This has been the challenge for the Wolfpack. Every time they get their offensive going, if they slip up for just a second, that goal is wide, wide open. And Boise State know how to score. They've already done it 5 times in this game, and they look to find more.
They got wide open spaces. Durtho trying to take the ball away. Death is going to take it in the end. Preston and Woozy both fighting for the ball with a Frozino in the mix as well. It is going to go to the Broncos in the end with Durtho taking the ball all the way over. Over Death! Durtho with another goal! We are sitting at 15 seconds remaining, and I think it's pretty safe to say that Boise State's going to take round 2.
That car had a family. How would you do it to him like that? Absolutely sick nasty once again. He keeps putting in the most filthy of goals.
Broken axles everywhere.
Man. Broken axles indeed.
Woozy gets the first touch off. Death is going to be taking the ball in the end. Durtho trying to get over the ball as quickly as he can. 9 seconds left on the clock. It'll take a miracle for Nevada, and I do not think that it is in the cards. Durtho just juggling the ball. Death and Frozino looking for one more shot to end things off. Woozy looking to make this thing touch the ground, and it's going to go down by Death in the end. Boise State takes round 2 in a pretty dominant showing, all things considered.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about adjustments going forward for Nevada. Well, it seems like Boise have found their own adjustments, and that's just keep scoring. Some of these shots that came out, I mean, there were 2 that were back-to-back by Durtho that were absolutely filthy to see. Well, we want to give thanks to the ICCU for their continued support of Boise State Esports. Thanks to the ICCU, Boise State Esports has won multiple national championships and piled up more than 1,500 wins. ICCU, looking after your daily balance. Visit ICCU.com. And let's get back onto it, because if we're talking about the ICCU, I mean, Boise have been banking these goals.
Yeah, it has been an incredible game out of Boise State. They just have not missed this entire game, and I have a feeling that is going to continue going into round 3. Nevada just needs to find a way to break out of the defense. They have been put under the thumb, and they have not quite been able to lift it up until we saw a little bit of life out of them in that game. With 2 goals, they had some good shots. However, they just were not on offense very much of the time, and they say that defense, the best defense, or the best offense is a good defense, but in Rocket League, you still need a little bit of offense.
I mean, it was a tricky thing for the Wolfpack. They go on offense, they try and find their shots, but the problem is you're leaving yourself wide open, and that's where a lot of those goals came from. It was the rotation right back to Nevada's side that Boise State was able to find those goals. A good majority of them. As we head into game number 3, match point for the Broncos, and it's not stopping.
Yeah, 4 seconds. I think that was faster than the last time. I think that was 2 seconds faster than the last time. Good job, Broncos. Let's try for 1 second next time.
Hey, I like we got the kill secure once again. You know, this time it's Woozy being able to take that goal right back.
Yes. Preston stole his last goal. He needs to get it back. Got to keep his goals per game up just a little bit higher. Woozy taking the ball up along with Preston. Durtho there to back him up. Over to the right side, not quite in the best spot. Durtho isn't really able to make much use of it. However, still on the Wolfpack side of the field, it's going to be really hard for them to really break past the Broncos. Woozy taking the ball up, teeing it up for Durtho, a little bit too high.
Not finding the shot he was looking for. Death steals the ball away. Sees a chance to try and score, but Preston will take that chance right away. Now Frozino missing the ball off of the aerial. Woozy getting possession right on back. Durtho looking to set up. As Free will deny that angle, but Preston still sets one right in. It's blocked away. Woozy over the top, hits the crossbar. And Woozy says, never mind, let me just send it back to Durtho.
Yeah, give it to Durtho, hopefully give him something to do, but Free thinks he can take a free shot. He's not getting it anytime soon. Woozy taking the ball up the left side, passes it in front of the goal once again, but no one has any boost. No one has any boost to do things with. No boost, no plays. Woozy trying to go for the ball once again, taking it away. Preston going to help him out. Durtho does get the demo onto Frozino as we take it once again back to Nevada's goal.
Over towards their side, Woozy looking for the shot, takes the aerial, it's delivered with ease! Another goal for the Broncos!
They're just making this look too easy. They're just putting ball in the net. It's like when people say, your sport's so easy, just do thing on thing. Boise State is just doing that. They're just ball in net, score points.
Very simple, Rocket League, get ball in net.
Well, Frozino also doing that as well. He heard what I was saying, and he's like, you know what? I'm going to take that guy's advice. I'm going to put ball in net. And look at that, he did.
They got on the board.
They're on the board. It's 2-1.
Hey, Coach Bryce helping us out here. Wrong team, by the way, Coach.
Yeah, Nevada, I expect my check in the mail in 2 to 3 business days. Please and thank you. I will also accept Chipotle gift cards as well. Death taking the ball up the middle. No one's there to defend it except everybody is now. You just saw it was like they were pitching a tent. All 3 of them just came up. Nobody's defending the goal. And Durtho, he knocks the ball away. That would have been in. Oh man, what a silly game this has turned out to be.
The old-fashioned triple commit. Now looking for another shot is Nevada. Into the corner it goes. Durtho gets a demo onto Death. Preston looking for the angle, but has 3 defenders he needs to break through. So he passes it over to Woozy. Frozino gets the save right on time. Durtho on the opposite end. Sends it over to Preston. Preston passes to Durtho. Now centered up once again, but the Wolfpack will not allow that ball to be set up. Instead, they want to take a shot of their own. The pass over to Death finds its way through, but just off the crossbar. Get through the defenders, and hey, you got the environment. You still got a break.
You know, one of Doc's keys to the game is punish the double commit, but it says nothing about the triple commit, and Boise State is really putting that to good use right now. Doing a whole lot with that. I mean, fortunately for the Wolfpack, it hasn't resulted in a whole lot, especially with Death missing this last shot, but they are still giving that offensive pressure that they were lacking in the last 2 games. Frozino trying to get control of this ball once again, does not manage to get the 100 boost as Preston runs through. Free isn't able to get any boost either, as all of Boise State is just hogging it to themselves. Woozy with the shot on goal, a little bit up high. Durtho isn't quite able to get there before Frozino takes it away.
Preston in position, but Death able to break through, almost finds it, but doesn't quite hit it the way he needs to. And now another shot. Woozy gets a save, number 1. Looking for save number 2 as the offense still coming in, but Broncos will break right through, looking for a shot of their own, controlling all that boost off of the wall. It bounces, but Woozy couldn't find his positioning in time.
Free looking to take a shot. There is a demo that goes through. Woozy is gone, but now he's back and ready to play. Durtho taking the ball back. They are not letting them get shots. Woozy in the goal at the perfect time. That was textbook goalie right there. right where you need to be. Preston taking the ball off the wall.
No way.
Ball's going right over to the net. It misses up top.
Oh!
Preston setting it up. Who's going to get in there? Woozy unfortunately hits it the wrong way as Death is going to take this ball all the way to the goal. Unfortunately for him, nobody's really there to back him up as Woozy is hunting them down systematically.
Woozy!
Shooting it again just over to the right. We are seeing so many shots, but so little accuracy. Durtho once again with the shot, and it finally goes through.
After all that drama, I need to unbottle this right now and take a sip because that was your unbottled play of the game. Presented by local dairy farm families. Perform, refuel, recover, repeat. Visit unbottled.com to learn more.
I might need to take a cap off too because I need some water after that one. That was a long volley, but we have almost 30 seconds left on the clock. Woozy taking the ball away. Both Durtho and Preston taking the ball up that right-hand side now. Frozino trying to make the commit with the rest of his teammates, but Woozy taking it back over to his goal. He's like, you know what? We just need to reset and get another long shot. Preston with the ball, dribbling it over the air, jukes two defenders. Free is trying to play goalie, but Durtho is trying to help him out. Death tries to go for the ball. Free is chasing Preston. 8 seconds left on the clock. I'm fairly certain to say that this is Boise State's ball game, but are they going to turn it into a 4-1?
1 second left, waiting for the ball to come on down.
Oh,
Maybe going for another
Jet
goal.
scores it! It's a good thing Boise State scored that last one because what a shot out of Death.
It wasn't enough to score on the enemy goal. They're going to score on their own as well.
I didn't even see that. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. But it still will result in a
my
Boise State victory.
goodness. Oh my goodness, man. Just score on your own goal. It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough to put it in the opposite net. We got a really limit test right there, and, maybe give Nevada some breathing room in the process. Well, that was enough breathing room because the game's already over, and that's going to be a 3-0 series for the Broncos.
You know, I felt like there was a bit of trolling in that last game.
Yeah, a little bit.
I feel like just a little bit, even beyond the own goal. But overall, well played, Boise State. You guys did great. Yeah, Nevada just really struggled to get on offense there. Just completely hemmed in on the defense.
It was a lot of fun in that final game, though.
Oh, yeah, that last game was a blast.
We had so much tension with how offensive Nevada were able to get at the very end of it. They just didn't sink anything in. It really took, Durtho getting an own goal to really kind of put a cherry on top of all of that?
I mean, was that on purpose or not, though? Because he was running up that right-hand side.
We say it's on purpose.
Yeah,
we say it's on purpose. All right, off of that note, we are going to take a moment to go ahead and show you our top 5 plays of the day while we take a quick break. When we return, we'll have an interview with one of the winners of our own Broncos.
Sure that you pay for that.
The Wolfpack suffering to the aggression of the Broncos. We're now continuing this momentum forward. Now Preston looking for the shot. Doesn't have the angle just yet, but
Woozy
Woozy's on the opposite side.
Free, though, still keeping it down, and nobody's in the goal for Boise. Free gets a free goal for free 99. Wow, getting Nevada on the board. We're at 3-1.
You know, it was a nice goal, but no, I'm not letting you get away with that punt. Bueno will block, but it's not done because
number 2
will dunk it right on in.
with a hat trick, nonetheless, scoring the first 3 points of the game. He has been on fire, just lining up the shots and just right in. With Durtho taking the ball all the way over. Death! Durtho with another goal. We are sitting at 15 seconds remaining, and I think it's pretty safe to say that Boise State's going to take round 2.
That car had a family. How would you do it to him like that?
And with the ball, with the pinch up to the top. What a shot.
That one just gave me stank face right there. Ooh, that was sick, nasty. Durtho. Always going to have it well within reach. You can never, ever leave this guy. Guy.
Scott Matlock, underrated recruit, has built himself into one of the best defensive players in the Mountain West.
What would you do if you couldn't fail? Would you see every setback as a catalyst to keep going? This is the innovator's mindset, because innovation demands daring. Is finding thousands of ways that don't work, and the one that changes everything. It's when your unrelenting spirit sees the world's needs and says, I will create something better. So, what will you do? Will you let your genius run wild? Give yourself the space to be great. Set your sights on something even bigger, because we know changing the world doesn't happen by chance. It comes out of the blue.
Let me show you what I got.
With the Dairy West Fueling Station, we really wanted to create a place that our players could come and be fueled and hydrated in a healthy way, fuel their minds, fuel their bodies so they can compete at the highest level. Dairy West has really allowed us to do that, and we're excited to see what this space turns into. This is only phase one. There's many iterations to come. It's truly unique in college esports, and we're excited to see how that continues to evolve. We're really thankful for Dairy West's support and look forward to continue working with them.
Let me show you what I got.
It's the end of a good day's work in Idaho. Time to punch out. Time to check in and catch up. Time to remind ourselves that what we work for isn't a paycheck. It's to make the good things we have even better. So here's to your good day's work. Idaho Central Credit Union. We believe money is a thing. It's not everything.
My friends know me as Derek, but I'm also Master Sergeant Raxter. This is my life in the Air National Guard.
Life happens. Lucky for you, ICCU has a new kind of checking account that comes with benefits that help you life better. Because being human is a full-time job.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Boise State Esports Arena. I am joined by none other than Woozy after a victorious day, both in the PEC and the Mountain West. I'm sure you're feeling good right now, man.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. We're doing great.
So talk to me right now. I want to talk strategy when it comes to Rocket League and the way you guys approach the game. And the game really does start off with nothing else but the kickoff. So talk to me, what is your approach when it comes to setting up different, going against different teams and actually setting up your kickoff?
Absolutely. Without giving away too many secrets, kickoffs are the basis of the game. As the game has evolved, we understand that there's more than just winning the kickoff. It's all about what happens after the kickoff and understanding that prioritizing possession is very important. So oftentimes that leads us to actually letting the opponents hit it to us. So a lot of times the first guy just will not go, or he'll go to the ball and he'll just decide not to hit it. It's all about misdirection, being able to keep the opponents on their toes in order to give us the most amount of possession. Because in theory, the kickoff's 50-50, but if we can take possession more than 50% of the time, that's a win.
Yeah, you gotta get into their heads,
exactly,
right?
Exactly. Got to be unpredictable.
So talk to me how the season's been going thus far. I know you guys have just rebounded from a loss that you had last week against Baylor. And of course that can put, moods a little bit more sour, but it's about how you recover and how you bounce back from that. We've seen that from, last spring, back when it was Michigan, losing to them in the regular season, beating them in playoffs. So how does it feel right now to basically be on that rebound? What is the strategy like to be able to recover?
Well, you can't let the sour feelings last for too long. Obviously, you have to be able to bounce back. And I think I always tell myself it's like we're either winning or we're learning. And we did a lot of learning against Baylor, and that's okay. So understanding where our faults are and being shown them early is very, very important, and understanding that we can be better. And even still, we lost, but there was, a lot of close games there, and I think there's a lot to learn there. So I think it's possible, and I think staying down on ourselves rather than keeping high spirits is just going to stunt our growth.
Absolutely. That's the right headspace to have because you do learn a lot from a loss, right?
Exactly.
That's something you always need to really take the most of and take those lessons and try and run with them. So coming into, the split that you've had so far, a lot of people would say it's been very heavy in the start of the season for you guys. More so, it's supposed to be lighter as you get into the later parts. So how do you feel going against some of the competition you've gone against so far in like Syracuse, Baylor, Michigan, all these teams that have been, pretty hyped up and considered stacked to some regards, and you've only taken, one blemish on the record. How does that make you feel for your season going forward?
Obviously, it makes us feel good. Regardless of whether or not the rest of our season's stacked, there's always things to work on, no matter who we're playing against, right? But it feels good to walk out of the war zone positive, obviously. even if we did have a couple scratches on us, it's still good to walk out positive, because then it makes the rest of the season feel more optimistic, and we're able to look at it with a confident mindset. Because if we were coming in, 1-3, going into the back half of the season, it'd be like, oh. You'd feel like you'd have to make some reparations. But if you only take one loss, you're like, okay, that's our misstep, and we can bounce back from that a lot easier than 2, 3, or 4 losses.
Yeah, I like that. I like the phrasing of it, the war zone.
It is the war zone. It is the war zone. All of those teams, everybody's so talented nowadays.
But off of that note, I do want to let you go pretty soon. So first things first, I do want to give you your shout-outs before we let you go there. So do you got any shout-outs you want to give, any family members, staff, so on and so forth?
I bet my parents are still watching. Shout out to my parents. They've supported me for years, actually, long before I came to Boise State, which I really, really appreciate. I couldn't do it without them. So they'll be my shout-out for tonight.
Quick question to follow that up. How were they like when they heard you were going to go to university for esports?
They were more supportive than what you'd think. My parents, they were confused but supportive. They know how much I love competition. They know how much it's done for me, and seeing that there is an environment in which I could thrive, whether it be through academics, through esports, they didn't care. They just saw that I was happy, and they knew I could make something happen out of it. So they were with it through and through.
All right, shout out to Woozy's parents. Shout out to my mom, because I know she's watching as well. But we want to thank you so much for joining us, man, and I want to wish you best of luck on the rest of the season, as we're going to go ahead and dismiss right here. And be sure to catch us next time, because we got more Rocket League your way. You're not going to want to miss it. We'll see you next week.